Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you haven't been here before, hello, my name is Kira, and today we're going to be talking about what to do when you don't feel like God's answering. And this is something that some of my friends and I have talked about extensively many seasons in our lives, when we have choices to make and we're just like, Lord, show us. And sometimes the answer doesn't seem super clear and you're just like, Lord, I'm trying to invite you into this conversation. It doesn't feel like you're saying anything. And so what do we do in those moments where we're like, Lord, we're looking to you and asking for wisdom and give us discernment and where to go, and we're just not feeling a super clear answer one way or the other? But 1 Timothy chapter 1 verses 6 through 7, Paul's writing this to Timothy. He says, "This is why I remind you to fan into flames the spiritual gift God gave you when I laid my hands on you. For God has not given us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and self-discipline." And I love these two verses because if we go back to this idea of we don't know what to do and we're like, Lord, help us, I find in myself and in people I know that leads to fear. That we're thinking, oh gosh, like God doesn't care, God's not here. I'm afraid to make a choice because what if it's wrong? I'm asking God because I don't know where He wants me, and if He doesn't answer, what if I go the wrong way and it's not what He wanted? And then there's just so much fear and pressure that we put on ourselves to be like, God, you just need to answer right now so that we can know and that we can go the right direction. And I love that Paul reminds Timothy of this, that you're not given a spirit of fear. That is just not it at all. And this is repeated several times throughout scriptures, both in Old and in New Testament, that we are not to be afraid. Fear is not from God. God's not gonna make you be afraid of, what if God doesn't answer? What if I don't know where I'm going? Like, that's not from the Lord. Let's start there. And we are called to ask Him and ask for discernment, absolutely. But I think sometimes when we don't feel a response, one of two things can happen. One being that you just have to sit and wait and be patient on the Lord to respond. And another way it could go is you never feel like He gives you a specific response to be like, go this way or go that way, but rather you gotta trust that the Lord is in you. You have the Holy Spirit in you to help you decide. And also, hopefully you have a great community around you, mentors, people who are further along on the journey with Jesus than you are, that you can go to and say, hey, I have this big decision to make, or it could be a small one. Which way do I go? What do I do? What choice do I pick? And ask them. Pray, lean into God on this, and then invite people who are following Him too in on it, who want God's best for your life, not just what you want, but they honestly want God's best for you. And say, hey, I have these two choices, like, what do you think I should do? What is the wise choice? God gives us wisdom and talks a lot about that in Proverbs, of seeking after wisdom so that we can make good choices. And sometimes we get to a decision and it's not like one is a good option, one is a bad option. It's just like there are two kind of equal options and you're just kind of back and forth. But then you also have to trust, like I said earlier, that you have the Holy Spirit in you. And if God's not super clear on a certain direction, to just be like, well, Lord, I'm looking at these two options. I've prayed about it. I haven't felt like you've been super specific. I've asked mentorship and people who are following you as well. And, they're saying like, it could be really either one. Both are good options, or maybe one is highlighted more. And then just saying, all right, Lord, this is the one I'm going to decide on. This is the one I choose. Because I think it's going to honor and glorify you. Maybe both of them do, and that's a choice that just comes down to you to make. But in that, don't worry. Don't be feeling pressured to be like, what if this was wrong? Because if the Lord hasn't given you a clear direction, it might be that He's just trusting you to make that choice. And He's like, in this decision, you can do either or. and whatever you decide is good. Or if you make a choice and then you're like, maybe that wasn't it, the Lord can use that too. And it can be an incredible story about how, it looked one way in the beginning and it turned out it wasn't. And then the Lord took you in a different direction. Either way, it can honor and glorify Him. Now, this goes with decisions and choices that would be honoring to Him. That's what we always want to choose. But God can use any of those and use it to glorify Him and use it in our story. And so I hope this encourages you. It just takes like the pressure off that, yes, invite God into decision making 100% all the time. And if He's not answering, that's okay. Maybe it's time to be patient. Or maybe after you're patient, you still don't have an answer and you're like, okay, it's decision time. Then you're just like, hey, I'm gonna make a well-informed choice that uses wisdom and guidance from mentors, and this is what we're gonna go with. And if the Lord doesn't want this to happen, don't let it be an option anymore, or don't open that door and see where the Lord takes you. But it can be a journey and an exciting adventure with the Lord of like, okay, God, you're steering me in ways that you're not coming out straight up and saying that. I think about Esther, book in the Old Testament in which God's name is never mentioned. And think about that. Like, Esther, like, almost dies protecting her people, the Jews. And she doesn't hear God's voice once saying, like, hey, Esther, like, I'm sending you to the king's palace. Like, you're gonna go and plead on behalf of my people. Like, it's never written in there. Esther just says to Mordecai, go and pray and fast for me and tell all our people to do the same. And it doesn't say that she receives a clear answer on what to do, but she brings prayer and good, wise counsel involved. And she just goes out with courage that is from the Lord and goes and saves her people. And so it's a magnificent story of how God is not once named in that entire, 10 chapters, I believe. But yet we see God's hand so vividly in the entire story, and we know without a shadow of a doubt that God is involved and He is at work. But I don't think the Lord was like, Esther, you should have just waited until, I said more. Like, she gave the Lord an opportunity to speak. She prayed, she fasted, she took time, and then she made well-informed decisions with wise counsel. And I think sometimes, as hard as that is, sometimes that's the way that it goes. And that's just as good and as godly as if the Lord just speaks to you like, hey, you're gonna go and do this. Both are God-honoring, and both are ways that the Lord can work. He doesn't have to be audible or, a voice in your head. He can also work in a way of just behind the scenes almost, and you don't quite see it, at the forefront, but God is in the midst of it. And so I pray this is an encouragement to you. Just don't stress, just take a deep breath and be like, okay, if the Lord doesn't give me an exact response, I'm still okay, and I'm gonna make an informed decision. I know God's gonna still be in it, even if He isn't, telling me exactly what to do step by step. So, hope this is encouragement. If you have any prayer requests, please leave them in the comments down below, or you can direct message me on Instagram. I would absolutely love to pray for you. And if you are interested, one of my best friends and I started a ministry together called Flourish Sisterhood. It is bringing women together of all ages, believing that we want you to flourish in every area of life as God intended you to. That's friendships, that's in finances, that's in your walk with the Lord, health, wellness, every aspect. The Lord created us as human beings, as whole creatures, and I don't believe that our walk with Him should just be one part of our life. Like, when we follow Jesus, He becomes all aspects of our life. He's included in all of that, and we surrender everything to Him. And so I believe that he has a lot to say in every aspect of our life. So if you're interested in that, you can click the link to our Instagram down below. We'll be adding some new stuff this summer. We have great great blog posts. If I would just slow down, I think that would solve a lot of things. We also have devotionals written by guest authors who are incredible. We also have information about our Zoom Bible study that we do every week. So you are welcome to join. DM us for the login information for that. And then we also have information when we do in-person meetups. So a lot of stuff going on there. We would love to have you. And I just hope you have an incredible week. And I will see you next week.